chickens, how are we today? A lovely Friday. Angela here, and a very warm welcome to my channel. So it's always good to have you join me. I am happy to say that we're having a fine day today, not too hot, not too cold, like Goldilocks said, just right. I'm here to share with you this cute little project which I actually found on Pinterest. So Pinterest was my inspiration today. Lots of people have made this, so it's nothing new, but I just had to give it a try and I thought, wow, this is perfect. I'm going to add this to my journal. So I thought that you could follow along with me. Right, so what is this? Well, it's got 6 sides, so that's a hexagon. If my math serves me correctly, and it's really nice and flat. So I'm calling it a hexagon pocket, really, because it's got pockets, 3 pockets, believe it or not, and they're filled. So that's quite something. Right, so what have we got here? I've got a little front here. I've got a little band to put this on. So I'm going to just slide that down like that. You can use any paper to do this, even book pages, so you know, don't even worry about that. There are different ways to do closures. I've got different ones to share with you later. Right, so just used a sheet of paper, and what you have here is this lovely side there and that lovely side there, and then all that happens is you hold it on the corner and you open it up, and there's your 3 little pockets. And inside we've got our little tags that you can write absolutely anything on, or put any sorts of tags in there. How cute is that? And it just closes down like that. So it opens up and it closes down. So you could use this as a card, you could use this as a piece of ephemera, which is what we're going to do. And how amazing is that? Yeah, I did have quite a few goes at this last night. It was a lot of fun and quite addictive, I must say. Once you get the hang of it, is no stopping you. All right, so that's what we're going to have a look at today. So I'm going to put those 2 to the side and tell you what you need. All you need is a sheet of paper. It doesn't have to be double-sided printed because you're not going to see the other side on the outside. The only time you see the other side is the pockets inside, so that's up to you. All right, so I'm going to just put that over there. Right, so that's what I've got. We're going to cut this down to a size in a minute. I have got this on the back because it is one of the sheets that I had that were a bit marked. So that's what I have got here. So that is what you need. I'm also going to make little cards, so these sorts of things. I've used this background page from my mini journal. Any page is fine. You don't need to use that. It's just what I had, because I thought if you have this as a card, you could write lovely messages on there, like happy birthday in the middle and something on the first one and something else on the third one. So, or if you're just putting secret messages, you could do that. So it's a writing space really, so I've kept it quite muted, but you could add stamps and all sorts to that. So a sheet of paper, I've backed it onto card. That's what I've done there. All right, and that's about it. I've got a little bit of ribbon, little scrap of a ribbon here, but everything else we're going to make from this sheet of paper. All right, any kind of embellishment that you want, like if you've got little flowers or anything else, you know, that's up to you. You want to use your punch to make this, but I have got other ways to show you what to do. You don't have to use that closure. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this down to the size we need to use, and I'm going to use my paper trimmer for that. So just going to open that up. And I'm going to measure at the top here 8 1/4 inches. Now 8 1/4 is 21 centimeters. Right, so let's just get that there. That's 8 1/4. Hang on to that piece. And then we're going to turn it around and we're going to measure 8 1/8 of an inch. So that's 20.6 centimeters. All right, there we go. Now we're going to have to use a scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, just use a ruler and a scoring tool, or alternatively you can use a butter knife. All right, now I know that some of you, if you have a paper trimmer, you can mark these measurements at the top and then use the groove here to score, if that helps. I have done that before too. All right, so I'm going to grab my paper trimmer here, and we're going to make some score lines. Now we're going to score not at the 8.5, 8.25 page. We need to turn that around so your butterflies are at the bottom, and we want to turn this over. So there we go, like that. Right, so the first one you want to do is add half of an inch. So that's 1.25 centimeters. All right, so you got that there. Then you want to make a mark at the 2 7/8 mark here. Now I'll look these up and you can see what that is the equivalent if you're using a centimeter scoreboard. So 2 7/8, and then 5 1/4. So that's a half, that's a quarter, 5 1/4, and then 7 5/8. So that's 4/8, that's 5/8. All right, and then we want to do that there. All right, so 1/4 of an inch, 2 7/8 of an inch, 5 1/4, and 7 5/8. All right, so that's what we got there. Now I want you just to turn this around 45 degrees and make a mark at the 4 1/8 mark, which effectively is the halfway mark, like that. All right, almost done with this. What I want you to do now is, I have actually used a pen at the 6-inch mark, and I've just got a fine line and run it down there. You can use a Sharpie or whatever. It's just going to be used as a guide, because what I need to do now is I want to turn this over. Right, so move it around like this, and what we want to do is we want to go to this top quadrant here. So you've got a score mark there, that's score mark 1 and score mark 2. I'm going to line up the top point there where the score mark meets the edge, and I'm going to place it on the edge of my page, on that black line there. All right, I'm going to hold it there. I want to meet that up with 1 to score line 3. So like that, yeah, and I'm going to run my score tool down there carefully. It's going to go through the middle here and come out over there. All right, so effectively you're scoring that point to that point. Now you want to do the same with this. This is the second score line. Get that lined up there, and you want to match it up with, sorry, the 4th score line. So 1 2 3 4. So get that bottom lined up with the black line and that one there, and effectively this should run through the middle there. Okay, then just do that and do that. There we go. Now if at any point you make a score where you don't want to, I'm just going to make one here to show you what I mean. All right, the way to get rid of that is just turn your paper over onto a flat surface. Use your score tool. We can take that out the way now. Where's it? There, and just use the point to get rid of it. All right, and it is now gone. All right, so if you make a mistake, that's what you need to do. You don't need to think, oh, I need to start again. Right, now you'll see that you've got peaks and valleys with these score lines. That where the indent is means you fold it up. So where it's going like that, you need to fold those up. So you're going to do those diagonal ones this way. Yeah, give that a good burnish. Turn that over and give that a good burnish like that. All right, now we've done those, we've got that. I want you to turn this over and turn where you made the straight lines now. Give those a good burnish. One, keep folding them up, 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 not under. All right, so we got there. We've got one over here. And then we've got one over there. Right. All right, so now what I want to do is I want you to open it all up. We've got all these peaks and valleys going on here, but that doesn't matter. It all makes sense in a moment. What I want to do now is I want to cut some bits off. So I'm going to cut off along there and along here. So this has got to come off, and the same over here. So along there, along that indent, and over there. All right, so let's just cut that off quickly with our scissors. So I'm just going to go just on the inside of that, and I'm going to give it a little taper as well. All right, there you go. And I want to do the same on that side as well. And just where it joins at that one, I'm going to give it a little taper as well. All right, there we go. Right, so we've got these little tabs now, and I'm going to just take my glue. I'm going to fold that in, and I'm going to put some glue on there. There we go. I'm going to stick this down. Match that bit up there. I can't remember that I folded the central line, but there we go, that's done. All right, and then we're going to do the same over here. Just fold it in and get some glue on there. Okay, now the tricky part is coming. This is the part that I found quite challenging, and hence I made so many. But let me make a suggestion to you guys who have printed paper and you don't want to waste your paper. I would go and get out some copier paper, or better still, magazine paper, or any paper that you don't mind using to try on, all right? And give it a practice until you're confident. And then when you're confident, go and do it with a piece of paper that you really want to use to put into your journal, if it's for a journal or a card even. All right, so that's my suggestion to you. Now at this point I would just go and give it a little bit of distress inking if you want to, you know, like that. So you've got all your pockets ready now, and we can come back to that when we right. So what you've got now is you've got a piece that folds in there, yeah. You've got one that sticks out, and then another one here that's going to go in. All right, now we've got the same on the other side here. You've got a piece that goes in, you've got one that comes out, and you've got the next one that goes in. All right, so hold it like this, and all you need to do now is look at it like this. All right, you can see you've got a V here, and like a square boxy thing in the middle. What you want to do is pull it closer and closer, push your left hand to the back and your right hand to the front as you are opening it. Gauge them like that. All right, and you should have something that closes like that. Yeah, let's try that again, because this is the bit that flummoxed me the most. So I had to really look at how it was played around for half an hour trying to do this, and then I realized as long as I've got that one going in, this line coming out, that line going in, yeah, and you can always give it a press. So you got in, out, and the same here, in, out, all right. You open it up so that both are gaping like mouths there, and the square in the middle, and then gently push your left hand to the back, this one to the front, yeah, like that, and then it'll come together. All right, how cool is that? Yeah, once you've got understanding how it works, then I tell you, you can do these. You can roll them off. And once you've got one, you can put it aside and keep looking at it and working out what you need to do. All right, so how cool. I am loving that. Right, so then again, you just grab your corners, yeah, and there you go. It's open. She says it's closed. I did go around and make sure that these were all well burnished after I had it in its shape, because the more you open and close it, the more it'll just naturally keep going to that position. All right, so there you go. That's how it works. Now what I did then was I cut 3 of these. All right, I've used, as I said, my mini paper on here, and I'm going to show you quickly how easy this is to do. All you do is you want to measure first of all 4 inches. All right, so 4 inches in height, and we're going to go with 2 1/4 wide. All right, that's going to give you ample room. So if I just look on my board here and I go put this nice and flat along the grid lines, which always makes it easy. So we've got 1 inch, 2 inch and 1/4. So 1 2 1 2 like that, and you cut this down. Now you want to do this twice, but I'm just going to show you once. Right, you've got enough to do it again. Then you want to make them 4 inches in length. That's all. 1 2 3 4 like that, and the same here. 1 2 3 4. You just got a little bit over in my case. All right, so that's how you make these. It's as simple as that. And then just go and ink them. You can go and stamp on them if you wanted to put a little sentiment on there, or you can put happy birthday on there. If you want to make it as a card, you can do whatever you want to with that. So that's how you're going to do those. Now to put those in, it's really easy. All right, so you grab them. The first one just slides in into that little slot over there, and this one is going to slide into that little slot over there. Then this one is the tricky one. You want to have a look at it, get it a little bit like that. All right, and then you want to slide that in. I'm just getting it the right way around, in between those two there. All right, so you've got this fold, you've got that fold, and you want to slide it in the middle like that. All right, and then when you close it, you wouldn't even say there was anything in there, would you? Yeah, so that's how you do it. This one goes in between those two, that side of there and the other side of that one. Press it down, and then just, there we go. All right, so we've got our little tags in there. You can decide which side you want. Do you want that as your front or that? It's up to you. I'm going to go with this because I always like a little bit of font. And then this is where your other bit comes into play. So we want to grab this piece back again, or any other piece. The first thing I do want to do is I want to use those little birds. All right, so I'm going to take this and measure a piece that's going to be quite close, probably a ruler's width away from the birds. All right, so let's just turn it this way, it'll be easier for me. Right, so I'm going to just put my ruler on here like that, and just make this the length of this piece of paper, and I'm going to just cut that off. All right, we're going to use this. Did I get that the right width? Gosh, I did. Well, that's good. Right, now with the birds here, so we're going to use this in a minute. What I did was I took a smaller punch and one slightly bigger. So this is a 2-inch punch. This is a 1 3/4. So I want to get the birds in. So I'm using the smaller one, and I'm just positioning them, engaging the tails. Right, so we've got that. And then what I want to do is with the other side, now I quite like those bigger flowers, so if you want to use the flowers you can go ahead and use those. Those would make beautiful decorations just there. But what I'm doing with this one is, and those as well, so you can do that, but I'm going to go with a polka dot, so I'm going to do that, yeah, and I'm going to use that for the other. You can use scrap, you don't have to use what I'm using. As I said, I'm going to use this as the base, so I'm going to quickly just decorate that up, and then I'm going to do the same, just put a little bit of ink on there like that. All right, and then move that out the way. I want to take the tiniest snippet of ribbon now, and I have got my fabric tack glue here, so I'm going to just take the smallest little bit of ribbon, and this is where your scraps would be amazing to use. You want to just cut off a piece here, there we go, and I'm going to put some of this on, I think on here actually, because then I can centralize it better. So I've got a little bit of glue there, I'm going to just put a bit there, and then I'm going to put some more after I've got that positioned. Then I'm going to put some glue on the back of the birdies, going quite close to the edge. There we go. And now we'll get that ribbon in place, and now we can see exactly, this one's smaller and this one's going to give it a bit of a border, and then I can just maneuver my ribbon like that and give it a squeeze when I'm happy with where it is. There we go, so we've got a little label now. Cute, eh? Right, last thing to do then is you want to take this bit here, and now again you can just give it a bit of ink, distressing, if you so wish. Right, now I'm going to put the dots on the top. So what I want to do is I want to get it across the middle there and line it up like that, and then I'm going to fold that over. These aren't going to meet because now remember you've got cards in here, so I'm just going to move that a little bit. Doesn't matter that it's not centralized, you're going to put this other circle on there, but I suppose a little bit better than that would suffice. Right, so we've got that there. Lift it up. Right, we've got that there, and I'm not going to make it too tight, so I've got a bit of a gap over there like that, yeah. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my art glitter glue, any glue will work, and I'm going to just put some glue on here and here like that. And then just to make sure the edges are all right, I'm going to just put some over there. Right, and then I'm going to turn that over and hopefully get this centralized. Hopefully. Yeah, I think that's about right. Right, so I've just got my little Capure flowers, and I'm going to just put some glue on there, so that's perfect for that area. All right, so there's that little one. How cute is that? So that'll just slide down nicely, as I said, like that. And then you can just, got it the wrong way, open it up. You got your little cards in there, and it'll just fold back down. And then you can just keep it closed with your little closure that you've just made. So that'll just go on here. Now the thing is with the closure, don't make it too tight. That would be my piece of advice there, because otherwise you're going to struggle to get it on. All right, so that's, mine is slightly loose, All right, so that's there. So there's the one I made before. There we go. And then I made this little one with the wildflowers, which was so cute. I did that with my wildflower wishes because I was trying it out. And then if you don't have a punch, or you want to use something like this, I've just put on some ribbon, a little sentiment, and some little flowers that I've stitched and put on there as well. All right, so that goes round, and you can tie that, and easier to open and close as well. So those are the little ones that I've made for today, and gosh, they were so addictive. Once you get going with it, you'll be rolling these off, and again, another mass make for those loose pages that you haven't got a place for. You can get these ready, have them ready for any kind of thank you card, birthday card, thinking of you card, or just happy mails, just because card. Or like, I'm going to add these to my journal. So yeah, I'm just going to add the one. I've just shown you what I've done, but have a go at it, because it was such a lot of fun, and you know, you can do it in no time at all and decorate them in all sorts of different ways. All right, everyone, have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to see you on Sunday. We'll do a little video then. I've got some exciting stuff next Friday to share with you, hopefully. So fingers crossed I get it all done in time. All right, so I might be sharing a whole new thing, a whole new collection with you. So keep your eyes peeled. It'll be Friday or Sunday next week. All right, but definitely I'm hoping for Friday. All right, everyone, love and leave you. Stay well. Bye-bye.